be taking a very brief class today because two reasons. One reason is that the content of the presentation of the PPT is what I do is generally I try to explain things because it is just an interaction session, and as I've been telling you for the last whatever the number of classes I've taken, that field theory is something that needs to be derived and made understood by board work or something like that. But since it's not possible here, I don't know how well I was justifying the course of this syllabus, but uh, we have to accept the fact that right now we are in online classes, and for this particular paper, as it is a mathematical paper, uh, not much can be done here actually. So that's why I will be actually going by the presentation more of a going through the slides, and I possibly would be trying to explain as I've been doing before, and I'll be finishing the things earlier. Maybe I don't know. Maybe around half an hour is good enough for me. 45 minutes, and I will be sharing the final slide today. All the slides, almost 100 slides, and there are a few more contents of mine of this particular subject that I'll also be sharing another class with some problem statements, which I'll share with you and ask you to go through those problems and finish off my part of the teaching. Obviously, if anybody has anything more to learn or understand from me in terms of the subject or the topic in specific, they can come forward and ask me. So I'll just start the presentation right now. Uh, can you see this presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Possibly, I have done this part last class, and I was supposed to start it from here. So, joining. So here we go. We go with the Maxwell's field equation. Till now, we have actually studied about Gauss-Savart's law, followed by Ampere's law in current law or circuital law, followed by the integral form and differential form. From there, Stokes equation, and then followed by we had the boundary condition also being present out there, and so on and so forth. Learning everything in detail, we actually could understand the implication of uh, the things that were being presented there. And then we had to talk about from single charge flowing at certain rate with change of time and place, we as we are calling it as current. And therefore, with the current being in picture, therefore we are talking about electromagnetic induction in this case, as because we have the charge being generating out electrical and magnetic fields together, hand in hand, and the effect of the two should taken as an electromagnetic side. And therefore, on that basis, we have drawn all the conclusions before, and we have come to this conclusion that up to for a conductor, and then again from the conductor, we have actually considered two conductors being present side by side in the form of a coaxial cable, and as a transmission line, how it would behave in terms of its inductance, self and mutual inductance. People are still joining in. Pushpal, are you late, Pushpal? I myself sometimes are late and I cannot manage. And over to that, Pushpal is joining at 7:13. Hello, Acho. Pushpal is just joined only, nothing, no response. Okay, so here we go. I'll go with the Maxwell's field equation right now. And what does it actually tells you about? It basically talks about again a conductor being considered, and here we are talking about current in the form of charge that is being flowing through a conductor. When you talk about a conductor, you can just think about your fingers as a conductor. So the finger which will be being assigned as a conductor has got a cross-sectional uh, area around, and it is basically circular in nature. and therefore whatever the current that flows through will be basically nothing but a charge that is being flowing through it, and a charge carrier from the point of start to end of a conductor, means from the point of view of a finger, from the point where a finger starts till the end, till the nail. This particular point, we can this conductor can be taken as a finger can be taken as a conductor, and that conductor will be basically having a field around it. Now Maxwell somehow decided to express all the inductance, mutual inductance, self-inductance, and before that the boundary condition, and before that the Ampere's law and everything that I talked about, or rather we talked about in the COS. He comprehended all of them together and put it in one expression. And that is because the basic idea was that the flow of charge at certain rate to a conductor from one potential to another potential point in the form of flow of charge can be expressed as a field, and the field is basically everywhere in the space, three-dimensional space around the conductor, and therefore what would be the field equation? That's why we call it as Maxwell's field equation. And each individual quantum charge produces field. Therefore, if there are n number of charges out there, it will basically produce a ball of field. You can imagine a ball, so a ball which is circular in shape is moving around the conductor. So you must imagine a conductor, and you can't see it in the eyes, but you just imagine that the conductor is carrying charges, enormous number of charges, and it all together makes a big ball around the conductor and moves through. So what you actually get is basically a big hollow pipe, cylindrical pipe of field around the small conductor of which I'm talking about your finger size, or even thinner than that, whatever you want to do. So considering a conductor, a linear conductor, let I be the current in the conductor, sectional area A charge is carried from lower top to higher potential against a field E. V is equal to into I or I into R, where R is the resistance between the two terminals over the length L, and R is given by small l by or omega A, whatever you want to just express it. So E into L will be basically given as I into within bracket L by sigma A, or E is equal to I by A, L by sigma, which is equal to this. Now here this sigma is what very important in terms of Maxwell's field equation. Sigma is basically what it basically tries to tell you is about. Here we have written J1 may be referred to as conduction current density, which is directly proportional to the electric field intensity. Now that's what I was trying to map through. খুব সহজভাবে এটা লেখাও রয়েছে, আমি বোঝানোর চেষ্টা করছি। খুব ভয়ঙ্কর কিছু ম্যাক্সওয়েলস ইকুয়েশন ভাবার দরকার নেই। J1 may be referred as the conduction current density. ছোট করে বোঝানোর চেষ্টা করছি as simple as possible. So আমার একটা হাতের আঙুলকে আমি যদি কন্ডাক্টর ধরি, I consider one of my fingers the conductor. So what happens generally, just in a lighter side of understanding the Maxwell's field equation, just imagine that the charges are flowing through at a given speed, and they are flowing through this cross-sectional area. And what happens after the nail ends, the finger ends, if you imagine that it continues to flow, তাহলে কি হবে? That due to the momentum, the charges will continue to flow in the same direction. Now, tick at the edge, if you start to monitor how many charges are moving out there, what will come out is basically you will try to find out that the number of charge that has flown through that particular cross section or that end of the finger or conductor, whatever you want to imagine, is referred as the conduction current density. Now this is the conduction current which is being conducted through the conductor, and it has got a density. Now it's like water flowing in a pipe. Now you have a water which is being flowing through the pipe when you open the tap, and what you come across is flow of water through it. Now the flow of water's density is almost fixed. Now if you mix something over a tank or maybe in the line in between, the density changes. But what I'm trying to tell is that it has got a quantum, it has got a pipe size, the bore or the cross-sectional area, and when the valve is being opened up, that is the tap is being opened up anti-clockwise, the entire water flows through because of the pressure. Now this flow is being assumed to be as the current density out in case of our conductor, and this is which is directly proportional to the electric field intensity. Now it will be proportional to the electric field intensity means what? The amount of charge that it was carrying. Now, each charge had its own electric field intensity. Therefore, if there are n number of charges around that tap or the conductor imagine about, then you can imagine that it will have a huge amount of electric field intensity. Now that field intensity and that conductor current intensity together can make something called as J. Now these two things come hand in hand in Maxwell's field equation. It tells about the amount of current that was flowing through, and it tells about that current being carried by the charge carriers. They have a field intensity. So to understand that, we have to understand this first. What is that? Something called displacement current. I don't know. I probably feel that you people are aware of these expressions, but I am trying to, revise or make you understand. And hopefully, that Maxwell's field equation is already known to maybe few people. But I'm trying to explain it in the way I try to make you understand in terms of electromagnetics. So, what we come across a terminology called displacement current. How does it actually occur here? So, here what they're talking about is for a capacitor, the current flow can be constant only when voltage is changing rather than steady. Again, I'll repeat. For a capacitor, the current flow can be constant only when the voltage is changing rather than steady. If IC is the capacitor current, then it is given by dq by dt or CV dt. And in case of a parallel plate capacitor, it's something like epsilon A by T dash, where T dash is the separation between the plates or the distance between the plates. Therefore, IC, that is the capacitor current IC, is equal to epsilon A by T dash dV by dt, or dV by dt is nothing but rate of change of the charge dq by dt. You can write it in that way. So epsilon A dE by dt, finally the expression is given. It's a displacement current. I will just go to the next slide. Therefore, IC by A is equal to epsilon dE by dt, which is equal to d by dt of electrical displacement vector D, which is J2. Where J2 is the displacement current density. Now the total current density is made of, one is displacement current density J2, and the J1 is nothing but what? Electric field intensity, or referred to as conduction current density. What I'm trying to tell here is that Maxwell's field equation talks to you or speaks to you about current density. কতটা conductor charge carrier capacity অ্যাডহার করেছে, তার মধ্যে দিয়ে পাস করতে দিয়েছে, এবং সেই কারেন্টের ক্যাপাসিটির উপরে ডিপেন্ড করে তোমার কতটা ম্যাক্সওয়েলস ফিল্ডের ইন্টেন্সিটি এবং যে তার বিস্তার, তার যে প্রভাব, সেটা কতটা দূর অব্দি কোথায় তুমি কতটা পাবে, সেটা ম্যাক্সওয়েলস ইকুয়েশন দিয়ে ইভ্যালুয়েট করা হয়। তার দুটো অংশ আছে। একটা অংশ হচ্ছে যে ফার্স্ট ওয়ান হচ্ছে J1 may be referred as the conduction current density, which is directly proportional to the electric field intensity. Our second one is nothing but the displacement current density, and it's again vectorially represented by D, which is an electrical displacement vector, and the total current density is J1 and J2. It a catch, there is a catch in this particular J1 and J2. So the first expression, which I just hold it out here, the first equation is basically sigma E bar, and the other one is d by dt of this. These two things basically tells you about what? It tells you about two things. One, that you have a displacement current, and one, you have basically a what I should say density, current density. Now displacement and density, they come hand in hand in Maxwell's equation. Why? I will explain. Current density, as I told you, that will depend upon number of charges out there. But what is important is that number of charges that flows through the conductor has to flow through also. It has to do a work done. Now, the work done that has to be done from one end to the other end, that is not always so easy to understand, because every material that allows the current to pass through and will have this field revolving around, because it's an alternating current, or maybe it has a magnetic field spread out in the near vicinity. Naturally, the current or the energy that flows through the electrons, and therefore we say that there's a flow of electron, and therefore on the side there's a flow of current. Nothing flows. What flows is basically energy, vibration, form, whatever the form it is. But there is a displacement from one atomic structure to the next atomic structure. You understand? So likewise, one by one, all are in the same line, and they're allowing the current to flow through, that is energy to flow through. But this energy flowing also has an effect. What effect is that basically that the current has to flow in a streamlined direction. Now that direction will be given by the displacement vector, and the vector will decide whether the displacement current density is joining hand in hand with the electrical current intensity. If they both or the current density, conduction current density or electric field intensity. So conduction current density and displacement current density both are present there. One is the charge itself, the other one is the charge when it is moving. One time it is assumed to be one and singular, and the other time it is being considered to be in totality moving along the finger. What happens is when these two are given together, you happen to get this expression, which is nothing but Maxwell's field equation given by J. It talks about the entire field expansion within the conductor. J bar is equal to sigma E by plus d by dt of d vector, which is nothing but displacement vector. And remember that these two are basically two parts. One is the electrical part, electromagnetic part, and another one is, I should say together it is electromagnetic part. One is the magnetic part, another one is the electrical part. Basically, electromagnetic effect it is. That's why it called to be as field. Field would only come when there is an alternating field or there is a charge moving around through a field actually, and it is basically evolving out a total field equation. Therefore, এখানে দুটো ইকুয়েশন যেটা দুটো পার্ট আছে দুটোই খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট এন্ড বোথ আর একটা কন্ডাকশনের জন্য একটা ডিসপ্লেসমেন্টের জন্য কন্ডাকশন করতে যেটা লাগবে সেটাতে মুভমেন্ট ফ্রম ওয়ান অ্যাটমিক স্ট্রাকচার আরেকটা পরপর অরবিটাল ওয়াইজ চেঞ্জ হতে থাকবে আর একটা হচ্ছে কন্ডাকশন যেটা এট দ্য এন্ড অফ দ্য ডে যখন ওটা বেরোচ্ছে তখন কতটা রেট অফ ক্রস সেকশন এরিয়া রেসপেক্ট কতটা বেরোচ্ছে এই দুটো মিলিয়ে whatever the expression would be for a field equation in terms of its field intensity will be expressed by Maxwell's field equation, which is given by this. So therefore, if you talk about the integral form and the differential form, you can very well see the expressions being given and the remarks is given. So I don't really want to speak about all because integral form in the surface integral followed by line integral, and these all have been talked before. And del cross H is equal to J, del cross C is equal to 0 at any point given. It's a law of conservation of nature, and therefore static field conservation expression followed by the expression that tells you that basically the non-existence of magnetic monopole. Nothing called monopole. There's always a dipole out there, which itself can be so small that it can not be considered as a monopole, but has to be have a dipole. And over a surface, when you are talking about the field intensity or flux density or whatever, you are talking about a non-existence of magnetic monopole. It cannot happen. So in both the forms, differential and integral form, the Maxwell equation has been just jotted down here, and the first one is Gauss law. Now all these things are taken together, and the final expression in terms of a field equation is being taught about. So remember that whatever we read before, if we take the two equations together in a conducting current carrying conductor, you come across two parts. One is the static part and the moving part. Static part is basically a conduction part and the density part, and the other part is basically the rate of change of the conductor, the rate of change of the charge part, and this together basically makes you these two expressions, which is nothing but Maxwell's field equation. This is very important. Keep in mind, this is known to you maybe, but every time you are asked about this expression, how you come across this, and whatever I have given in the slide, it is in brief actually. একটা কন্ডাকশন কারেন্ট একটা ডিসপ্লেসমেন্ট কারেন্ট দুটোকে মিলিয়ে হচ্ছে এক্সপ্রেশন, আর এটাকে কোরিলেট করা হয়েছে ডিফারেন্সিয়াল ইন্টিগ্রাল ফর্ম, যার রিমার্কসে গস ল থেকে অ্যাম্পিয়ারস ল দিয়ে এটাকে টেনে দেওয়া হচ্ছে। So that finishes basically the Maxwell's field equation in brief, and I will share with you otherwise a note actually, a PDF of a book, and that will basically help you in understanding much better things. But in terms of obviously exams and getting the assignments done by you in the form of exams, really I will be brief in asking questions. So I hope you will be able to do the needful from the PPT as well as the notes I'll be providing you. But first and foremost, please go through the PPT, and I don't mind even if you see it in writing because the questions will be direct. But remember that this is a very important paper. You have to really understand the fundamentals, because people would ask you in the near future when you've been senior classes, maybe third year, fourth year, or appearing for your campus interviews and all. At a lot of places, people ask the very basics of fulfilling. Be prepared for that. So now from the uh, Maxwell's field equation, what we come across is basically that current flow করছে. Now we know that current যে flow করছে তার কিছুর উপরে dependent. Current conduction current and displacement current নিয়ে আমরা চর্চা করলাম. We have talked about both of them and taken together. What we come across is basically nothing but electromagnetic field or wave. Now, when we talk about conductor, then it's fine. But once it is beyond conductor, conductor less, therefore what happens is basically energy is being transmitted from one point to another point, not through conductor, but through air as medium. And when that happens, basically, what we do is basically we transmit electromagnetic wave. So the wave basically which was traveling through the displacement current and the conduction current part. So we basically we're talking about in the conductor itself. Now there's no conductor. So now we're talking about free space. So what we come across is nothing but electromagnetic wave. How does it work actually? So if a physical phenomena that occurs at one place at a given time is reproduced at another place at a later time, the time delay being proportional to the space separation from the first location, then the group of phenomena constitute a wave. Now, খুব সাইন্টিফিক্যালি খুবই ফিজিক্যাল ওয়েতে লেখা রয়েছে কথাগুলো ব্রিফ এটা আমার বোঝানোর জন্য বাট দ্য পয়েন্ট ইজ এর মধ্যে অনেক কিছু লুকিয়ে আছে অনেক কথাই বলা যেতে পারে ঘন্টা পর ঘন্টা খুব ব্রিফ এন্ড প্রিসাইজ রাখতে গেলে আমি বলতে চাচ্ছি যে আমি একটা পয়েন্ট থেকে ফোনে কল করছি আর একটা পয়েন্টে গিয়ে আমি ফোন রিসিভ করছি কেউ আমার সাথে দুটো এন্ড টু এন্ডে কথাবার্তা হচ্ছে যেটা মোবাইল ফোনে আমরা বা টেলিফোনিক ফোনে আমরা কথা বলি এই পুরো সংলাপটাই এই কমিউনিকেশন বিটুইন টু মোবাইল ফোনস basically we are talking to electromagnetic waves and those waves are waves which has got frequency in them and they propagate through from one point to another point at an instant of time and that physical phenomena is replicated in two time space different spaces. So what happens is when I am talking to you right now, you are actually right now listening to me. The reason being that I am not talking to anybody here physically present. But on the virtual ground, what happens is the entire communication, that is my sound pitch, is being picked up, converted into a signal, and as you know, it is being augmented with a carrier wave, and it flows over the satellite and reaches your mobile phone through your network provider, which basically receives the data, decodes it, and you are able to hear me instantly. Now, what happens is in the entire process, you are talking about wave being propagated. So if a physical phenomena that occurs at one place at a given time is reproduced at the other place at a later time, what is the time delay? The time delay will be proportional to the space separation. Fine enough and fair enough from the first location. Then the group of phenomena constitute a wave. Definitely because if I hit a stone in the pond, what actually happens is there's a ripple that generates at the point of time when the stone hits the surface of the water. Now that wave in the form of a displacement and uh, conduction is being replicated in through the water surface and it continues to move through. That impact continues to move through. But it reaches the bank after some time. Now the phenomena that occurred, that is I threw a stone on the water surface and then the wave reached the bank, took some time. There is a difference in the time delay. That is because the pond is big enough. Had it been only a bucket of water, it would have taken very less time or maybe same time to reach the bucket edge. Now that's what we are talking about. So that propagation of electromagnetic wave is being explained through certain wave equations. These are very important in terms of our communication, and it basically talks to you about the number because there are a hell lot of activities going on. Lakhs and crores of mobile and network is available in the world, and n number of scenarios are there with different amount of requirement from one end to another end. Defense people have their own communication, aircraft movement has its own communication, weather forecasting people have their own communication, even electrical people have their own communication network. We the civilians have our own communication stations. The railways people have their own communication network. So everybody actually uses a different frequency setup, and therefore the entire this group of phenomena constitute different types of waves. and each and every wave has its own lambda or wavelength or frequency, and they are working that domain. So what we do is that we try to find out the volume charge density each time. So in case if the volume charge density is equals to 0, then del cross E bar is equal to minus mu0 d by dt of H bar, field intensity. Obviously, because del cross E is nothing but what we talked about in the previous form, is conservation of electrostatic field out here. Del cross E, which is equal to 0. So when we talk about this, what we come across here is nothing but rate of change of field intensity. And for dot product, it becomes 0 because it is a vector quantity. The quantum is being decided by the field intensity. Now, if I take that into account and substitute the value, I get this last equation, the Maxwell's equation executed out here, which is nothing but the field intensity. It consists of conduction current and the displacement current, as I told you before. And therefore, the entire expression is being mathematically solved, and whatever the expressions you get here is nothing but the wave equation in its first place. So therefore, there is no conductor, but there is a flow of wave from one point to other point. There is a disturbance, and that is being conserved in the form of an energy. Until unless it is conserved in the nature, you will not be able to replicate it after some time. So everything that generates is actually conserved. It is never being wasted out, and nothing can die down, right? It remains there. So that is also one fundamental issue here. So therefore, in the form of a wave equation, we talk about the first wave equation comes to you. Thus, del cross H bar is equal to nothing but this is the final expression for the first wave equation or electromagnetic wave equation. Using this identity I have not talked to you because mathematical identity তোমরা পড়েছো হবে আগে। তো এই আইডেন্টিটিকে যদি আমি ইউজ করে যদি পড়াতে শুরু করি তাহলে এই স্টেপস গুলো পুরো আসছে। এগুলো না আমি যেটা কথা বলছিলাম, এই ম্যাথমেটিক্যাল স্টেপস গুলো অ্যাকচুয়ালি অঙ্কের মতো, you have to do it, work it out. পুরোটাই ম্যাথস, ম্যাথমেটিক্স বেসড, and what you come across is basically two equations come across. Here is one equation and here is one equation. এই দুটো ইকুয়েশন, these two equations are known as wave equations. These two equations are basically, in case of a non-dissipative medium, that is where sigma is equal to 0, and the wave equation then will be as follows. These two. This may be rewritten as this. Now, I'm going to go easy for this one and this one are two basically equations that were derived from here. Okay, these were derived from here. These are the wave equations. From wave equation, what you come across is basically two wave equations. So why two wave equations? Because I'll tell you fundamentally, two wave equation carries two parts. One part, basically the conduction part. Another part is the static part, or I should say the conduction current and the displacement current. We concept into Maxwell's equations holds everywhere, even in the wave equation also, but in a different form. Wave equations form is a bit different. Mathematically, these are the two basic expressions. Taken these two as one equation can be expressed here if in case the medium is non-dissipative, that means lossless, dissipation of heat or energy hoy. So non-dissipating মানে হচ্ছে কোনো মিডিয়া তার মধ্যে কোনো লস নেই, তার মানে ওয়ার্ক ডান অলমোস্ট জিরো, তাহলে এখানে ডেল ক্রস এইচ টা জিরো হবেই obviously, and therefore the expression out here will reduce down to these two expressions and taken together can be rewritten as this. What I mean to say is that the equation, you don't have to mug up things. You have to understand the equations, write it down in the words. Expressions can use other notations, but almost these are standard notations. So when you just go through them, you understand that these notations are very important, and therefore the final expression tells you about the fact that the entire wave equation depends in both its derivative form, in square of the derivative of the vector, field intensity vector. That's because we are talking two fields together, taking at right angles to each other and propagating along the three dimension array, and what we come across is 1 by mu k del square h. That gives you the equation totality taken together. So for free space, this is something the equation they have given, and then again which in which you have v as velocity of light, and the same wave equation can be rewritten as this. Here we are talking about mu equal to mu0, k এর ভ্যালু লিখেছে, লিখে এগুলোকে পুরো এক্সপ্রেশন করে v2 লিখেছে, v2 টা v-টা কি, এটা হচ্ছে ফিল্ডের যে প্রোপাগেটরি ওয়েভ তার স্পিড লাইটের স্পিডের সমান ধরে নেওয়া হচ্ছে। তো সেক্ষেত্রে ওয়েভ ইকুয়েশনের এক্সপ্রেশনটা মোটামুটি খুব ছোট ফর্মে চলে আসলো, বি স্কোয়ার ডেল স্কোয়ার এইচ আর বি স্কোয়ার ডেল স্কোয়ার ই। এইটা হচ্ছে তোমার মেইন উদ্দেশ্য। ইলেকট্রোম্যাগনেটিক ওয়েভের দুটো পার্ট তারপরে চলে আসছে, যেহেতু আমরা দেখালাম আগে যে এক্সপ্রেশন দুটো আসছে। এরপর আমরা প্লেন ওয়েভ অ্যান্ড প্লেন ওয়েভ আমি আসছে এখানে আপনি শেষ করলাম। তারপর এখানে যে প্লেন ওয়েভ দিয়ে তারপর ইউনিফর্ম প্লেন ওয়েভ and followed by wave polarization and then propagation of the plane wave, the pointing vector pointing. প্লেন ওয়েভের আর নন প্লেনার ওয়েভের একটা কনসেপ্ট এখানে দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করা হচ্ছে, বাট আমি খুব নট ভেরি কনভিন্সড যে আমরা তোমাদের সিলেবাসে খালি প্লেন ওয়েভ প্রপোগেশনটাই রয়েছে। প্লেন ওয়েভ প্রপোগেশন কথাটার অর্থটা হচ্ছে যে তোমাকে একটা ইউনিডাইরেকশনাল ফিল্ডে, মানে তুমি যদি এক্স ওয়াই জেড ধরো, টক অ্যাবাউট 3 এক্স ওয়াই জেড কোঅর্ডিনেটস, only the wave is considered to propagate only in a constant xy plane with an amplitude moving over y z. Okay, so that's what is coming in the plane wave. কিন্তু এরকমও তো ওয়েভ হতে পারে যেটা এক্স ওয়াই আর জেড তিন দিকেই মুভ করছে, তিনটে দিকেই সেটা নানা রকম স্পিডে মুভ করছে, সেটা একটা কমপ্লেক্স ওয়েভ হয়ে যাবে। সেটা ওরা তোমাদের লেভেলে এটা করতে চাইনি, দ্যাটস ওয়াই দে জাস্ট টক অ্যাবাউট প্লেন ওয়েভস। So linearly polarized uniform plane wave is one which satisfies the following condition. কি কি condition? একটা ওয়েভকে আমি প্লেন ওয়েভ বলবো। At every point in the space E and H are perpendicular to each other, যেটা আমি টু ডাইমেনশনালি বললাম, and to the direction of travel naturally. আমি তোমাদেরকে বলেই দিলাম যে at every point in the space E and H are perpendicular to each other, x and y ধরে নাও, and to the direction of the travel. So direction of travel হচ্ছে x y এর ইয়ে, but it is perpendicular to z again, which is amplitude y. The field varies harmonically with time, vary করে at the same frequency where everywhere in the space. ঠিক তো, ওই z অ্যাক্সিসে ওটা অ্যামপ্লিটিউড ওয়াইজ মুভ করতে করতে এগোচ্ছে এবং তার ফ্রিকোয়েন্সিটা সেম, এবং এটা চারিদিকেই ওই এক্স ওয়াই প্লেনে সব জায়গায় ওটা ইকুয়াল ভাবে along the plus z and minus z propagate করে যাচ্ছে। Each field has the same direction, magnitude and phase at every point in any plane perpendicular to the direction of the wave travel. If the field is in x direction and the magnetic field in y direction, and the wave is traveling in z direction. বললাম তোমাদের, the wave solution, plane wave solution of Maxwell's equation must have obviously z is equal to xz equal to 0. ওইদিকে আর কিছু নেই। If the propagation takes place in z direction, the component of h and l are thus transverse to the direction of propagation of the wave. Such wave is called transverse electromagnetic waves or TEM. Very simply and authentically explain how a plane wave is conceptualized. Just think that you have x, y, and z. X and y is a field where we are talking about over a plane surface. আর ওটা হারমোনিক্যালি ভাইব্রেট করছে ওভার y অ্যাক্সিস। এবারে তিনটাকে নিয়ে যা এক্সপ্রেশন দেওয়া সেটা দিয়ে দিয়েছে, এটাকে আমরা ট্রান্সভার্স ইলেক্ট্রোম্যাগনেটিক ওয়েভ বলি বা TEM। এই TEM এর কি কাজ আছে? এর কোঅর্ডিনেটস যেটা আমরা বলেই দিলাম যে কনসিডার TEM wave traveling in the positive z direction with the electric and magnetic field given as expressions দেওয়া আছে। The wave is propagated in the z direction given by E cross H. For non-dissipative medium where sigma is 0, as I told you before, we have del cross E is equal to minus d by dt of H. d by dt of H, H এর তো আমরা সব বাদবাকি পোর্শন গুলো জানি এক্সপ্রেশনে, আর ইকুয়েশন দিয়েছিলাম না আমরা, সেই এক্সপ্রেশনে ওই কন্ডাকশন পার্ট আর ডিসপ্লেসমেন্ট পার্টের দিক থেকে ওটা কার্ল অফ আ ভেক্টর ফিল্ড নিয়েছে, যে কার্লের মধ্যে আই জে কে আর দ্য থ্রি কোঅর্ডিনেট ভ্যালুস, আর তার এখানে কলম ওয়াইজ তার এক্সপ্রেশন গুলো এখানে বসানো আছে, ex dy dz, আর এদিকে dy dx dy dy dy। ওই একটা হচ্ছে তোমার কন্ডাকশন আর একটা ডিসপ্লেসমেন্ট, এই দুটোকে ওই আই জে কে এর সাথে কার্ল অফ করে একটা ম্যাট্রিক্স বানিয়েছে। মানে এখানে as x e varies only in x direction and the wave travels along z axis, we have only component involving is d by dz of ex, তাহলে এর রেসপেক্টে তার কার্ল বার করা, এবং সিমিলারলি কার্ল h x অ্যাক্সিস এর রেসপেক্টে এগুলো বার করেছে। এই এক্সপ্রেশন গুলো আমরা জিজ্ঞেস করি, আমি না খুব বেশি এটা ম্যাথমেটিক্যালি না মুখে মুখে বলে আমার বিরক্ত লাগে, এত আমি ম্যাথমেটিক্যাল কথা মুখে বলতে ভালোবাসি না, এটা বোর্ড ওয়ার্ক করলে ভালো হতো। প্লিজ গো থ্রু দিস এক্সপ্রেশনস, আর কোথাও যদি কোনো ডাউট থাকে আমাকে একটু লেট মি নো, বিকজ এখানটাতে প্লেন ওয়েভটা শেষ হচ্ছে, যার we can write এই যে v square is equal to 1 by mu k, comparing it to the equation is this, for free space it is this, and in general it is this. সো এই তিনটে স্টেপে এটা লেখা হয়েছে যে একটা তোমার অ্যাকচুয়াল এক্সপ্রেশন কি, তারপরে ফ্রি স্পেসে কি, তারপরে জেনারেলি এটা কি হয়ে থাকে, আর তারপরে ইউনিফর্ম প্লেন ওয়েভ। এটা ওরই একটা এক্সটেন্ডেড পার্ট, আমি এতে যাবো না। আমি রাদার এটাকে তোমাদের উপরে দেবো একটু, তোমরা এটা একটু পড়বে। ইভেন ওয়েভ পোলারাইজেশন, কারণ আমি ওয়েভ পোলারাইজেশনটা একটা স্লাইড দেওয়া আছে, এটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি একটু বোঝানোর জন্য যে ওয়েভকে পোলারাইজ করা বলতে কি বোঝে, ভেক্টরিয়ালি কোন দিকে আমরা এটাকে পোলারাইজ করছি, ওয়েভটা কোন দিকে প্রপোগেট করছি, কোন অ্যাক্সিস এলাম, এবং সেই অ্যাক্সিস এলাম আমরা এটাকে যদি লিনিয়ারলি পোলারাইজ করতে পারি, যে আমি এক্স অ্যাক্সিসের দিকে বা ওয়াই অ্যাক্সিসের দিকে বা জেড, এবং এক্স এর পজিটিভ বা ওয়াই এর পজিটিভ বা জেড এর পজিটিভ, তাহলে ওটা আমরা একভাবে দেখবো। এবং সেটাকে যদি আমি একটা ট্রিগনোমেট্রিক্যাল ইকুয়েশন ফর্ম করে তার মুভমেন্টটাকে আমি ট্র্যাক ডাউন করি, তাহলে আমি জাস্ট পোলারাইজ ওয়েভটাকে আমি ট্র্যাজেক্টরিটাকে আমি ওয়ার্ক আউট করতে পারবো। সেখান থেকে আমি বলতে পারবো যে পার্টিকুলারলি এটা এই ভেক্টর ফিল্ডটা কোথায় আছে এবং সেটা কি ফর্মে আছে, ইলেকট্রিক্যাল ফর্মে না সার্কুলার ফর্মে, এন্ড অল দোজ থিংস। তো সেইটা এই পোলারাইজেশনটা ওয়েভের পোলারাইজেশনটা ডিপেন্ড করে, কারণ আমরা যখন এয়ারক্রাফটের যখন কমিউনিকেশন করি, রাডারের কথা বলি, তখন ওয়েভ পোলারাইজেশনটা খুব দরকার, কারণ পোলারাইজ ওয়েভ না হলে সেটা নিজের সোর্সে ব্যাক করতে পারবে না। যখন আমি সোর্স থেকে যখন আমি একটা ডেস্টিনেশনে ফেলবো, ও কিন্তু সেই আবার ওটাতে ফিরে আসবে। জাস্ট বিকজ নয় যে জাস্ট গিয়ে আর ফিরে পিং পং বলের মতো নয়, ওয়েভকে যখন তুমি আবার রিটার্ন ব্যাক করতে হবে, তখন তাকে পুরো কোঅর্ডিনেট দিয়ে বলতে হবে কোথায় তুমি স্টার্ট করছে, কোথায় তোমার ফিরে আসতে হবে। তো দ্যাট বেসিক্যালি ইজ ওয়েভ পোলারাইজেশন, which is এই এত ছোট করে বলাটা আমার পক্ষে খুব ডিফিকাল্ট। এক্সপ্রেশনস গুলো স্ক্রল আপ করছি, পরে এখানটা থামবো, কারণ হচ্ছে যে আমার এখানে একটা ক্লাস আছে 8টা থেকে 7:45, পয়েন্টিং ভেক্টর এন্ড পয়েন্টিং থিওরেমের পরের দিন একটুখানি পড়বো, আর আমি কিছু নোটশিট দেবো, দিয়ে এটাকে আমি শেষ করবো। প্লেন ওয়েভ, ওয়েভ ইউনিফর্ম প্লেন ওয়েভ, তারপরে ওয়েভ প্রপোগেশন, এটা পোলারাইজেশন। এই 4-5টা স্লাইড তোমাদের বললাম, একটুখানি তোমরা প্লিজ গো থ্রু ইট এন্ড লেট মি নো, কারণ আমার মনে হয় না এটা আমার আলাদা করে কিছু বলার জায়গা আছে। ঠিক আছে, যদিও আমি বলতে পারি আরেকটু ভালো করে হয়তো বলা যেতেই পারে, বাট আমার দেখে মনে হচ্ছে যে জায়গাগুলোকে আরেকটু স্ট্রেস আউট করার আগে তোমরা নিজেরা আমি যেগুলো আগে বললাম সেগুলো একটু বলতে। ঠিক আছে, কেউ একটু হ্যাঁ বা না বলো, পৌলমি বা পুষ্পল, করতে পারছো। একটু বাকি ছেলেরাও একটু বলো, মানে তোমরা আমার কথা বা বক্তব্য বা লেকচারটা বুঝতে পারছো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
কে বললো এটা? হ্যাঁ স্যার। অহন, আচ্ছা অহন, ঠিক আছে। আমি জাস্ট জিজ্ঞেস করতে চাইছি তোমাদেরকে যে মানে আমি আমার বলাটা কি বুঝতে পেরেছো, আমি কি বলতে চাইলাম, এতক্ষণ যে বকবক করে গেলাম প্রায় 40 মিনিট, 40 মিনিটস 42 মিনিটস, এটা কি বুঝতে পারা গেছে যে স্যার কি বলছেন? কারণ ইস্যুটা হচ্ছে যে আমাদের এই ক্লাসে আমাদের বেসিক আইডিয়াটা তো খালি পড়া, আর এছাড়া তো কিছু করা যায় না। Devraj, rho we are taking at 0 here in this case. Considering that it's an ideal space or ideal space, and therefore the propagatory density that the carrier এয়ার এর মধ্যে দিয়ে তুমি যদি মনে করো যদি চারটা ডেনসিটি জিরো থাকে, সেক্ষেত্রে রোটাকে আমরা জিরো ধরছি, আর কিছু না, সেক্ষেত্রে এটা আইডিয়াল একটা এক্সপ্রেশন। এই এক্সপ্রেশন অ্যাকচুয়ালি ডিফেল্ট করে না, লেটার অন ইট গেটস চেঞ্জ বিকজ এবং এখানে কোনো কিছু পাবে না, প্লেন ওয়েভও কিছু পাবে না, ইউনিফর্ম প্লেন ওয়েভও পাবে না, কারণ এগুলো জাস্ট ওয়েভ নিয়ে এক্সপ্রেশন করা। ওই পোলারাইজেশনের খানিকটা এটা বলতে হবে, ওয়েভ প্রপোগেশন টু কন্ডাক্টিং মিডিয়ামে এসে তখন তোমার এইটা আর ওই জিনিসটা হোল্ড করে না, তখন তোমার পয়েন্টটা কারেক্ট, ওইটা ভুল তখন হবে, তখন ওর একটা এক্সপ্রেশন হবে, এটা তুমি আমরা পড়েছি, তখন ওটাকে ইউজ করা হয়। আচ্ছা, তাহলে আমি এখানে ক্লাসটা এখন শেষ করি, সবাই যদি মনে করেন।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, পরের ক্লাসটা কবে তাহলে নেবেন?
আগে সবাই